Hi everyone, it's Rax. Today was the first time that we were able to log into the public test realm, the PTR, and actually try the new progression system that Blizzard has built for Diablo 4. And in general, I think a lot of the things that they did are going to work out. And anything that is not really going to work out, I think is easily fixable. So I have my normal document here that I normally read through, and we will get to it, but this is going to be kind of the quick part. What I wanted to do instead is explain to you exactly how it went for me today and uh, talk you through what I'm thinking about what Blizzard has built here. All right, so how does the game feel now? Let's start with the early game. So first of all, you got to level 1 to 60. That's the new thing, right? It's not 1 to 100 anymore. There's no more capstones, nothing like that. You're just literally leveling up 1 to 60. Now here you have 3 difficulties to choose from. You have normal, you have hard, and then you have expert. You unlock these pretty much right away. And then at 50, there's a bonus, and then you get penitent, which is supposed to be way harder. So the first thing that I did was I logged on to expert, and maybe from levels 1 to 10, I was playing a sorcerer. Sorcerer doesn't have the very best start until you get things like firewall. It's nowhere near as good as example, let's say, as a minion necro or blood surge necro. But I mean, this 1 to 10 kind of felt, I was like, this expert is actually kind of challenging. And then I got some gear and I got my class mechanic at 15. And then I was just absolutely blasting expert easily. It didn't feel any more difficult than World Tier 2 current day. So if you are a player that plays on World Tier 2, no problem. Once you get any kind of gear at all and get your class mechanic, I don't think expert is going to feel any different for you all the way up to 50. Now, I did play in Penitent, and I was a little bit overpowered for Penitent, so I assume that this is going to be pretty difficult for people, but that actually doesn't matter at all, and that's because there are new leveling strategies. And so let's start with the fact that you can plug Nightmare Dungeons almost instantly. When you go complete one set of whispers, usually they give you a key, and if not, they give you half of the cost to craft a Nightmare Dungeon key. So the worst case scenario, you do 2 whispers, then you can go do Nightmare Dungeons. And just doing Nightmare Dungeons on expert difficulty now, remember, all the game modes are now tied to the difficulty that you're in, which seems counterintuitive if you've been playing Diablo 4 the whole time. You've been playing it for a year. You're used to, you go to you start in World Tier 2, then you do the capstone, then you do World Tier 3, then you do the capstone, then you do World Tier 4, and then you plug Nightmare Dungeons 1 through 100. So that's what you're used to, so that's what feels comfortable, but actually that system is actually very convoluted. Now it's just when you plug Nightmare Dungeons while you're in expert, they're just the level of expert and anything beyond. So it's gonna feel weird at first, but after a while, it's gonna feel very normal, and it's gonna be very nice for new players coming in. It's a lot less confusing for them. So just running Nightmare Dungeons on expert is great XP, but that's only the second best XP. The best XP is Strongholds. Now, you saw me upload a video yesterday where I leveled 1 to 60 in 20 minutes using, let's just call it an exploit or a clever use of game mechanics. Some people actually messaged me and they were actually angry about that. I guess people maybe don't know what a PTR is. When you do a test realm, you're supposed to break everything, right? That's exactly what I did. And by the way, Blizzard was watching it and laughing, and they already said that they're going to fix it. So there we go. It's a win-win. It's a fun little exploit, and they're going to fix it. So what you would do there is so the reason why Strongholds are the best for, why they're the best for XP now is because of the turn-in. The turn-in is so valuable. It's better XP than doing anything else. But we've seen this before, kind of. Before, like when Diablo first launched, Diablo 4, doing Strongholds was also the best XP, but it was about clearing all the monsters and then resetting the stronghold and not completing it and then killing the monsters again. It's like, wasn't an intended mechanic. And then on top of it, strongholds have been completely forgotten about. You like do them once for renown and then they have no place in the game whatsoever. But now, without that exploit, without the repeatable XP, this is actually a much better scenario, because now this is probably one of the original intentions of how they wanted players to play Diablo 4. They wanted you to get on your horse, ride around in the open world. If you see a cellar or you see an event, maybe you do it, and you're riding to a stronghold, and then you complete it for a big reward before getting on your horse and going to the next spot. And I got to be honest with you, even as I'm a blaster, right? I just want to find the most efficient thing. I just want to rock it to the end game. That's the way that I play video games. This actually felt very good. If this was a strategic decision by Blizzard, I think it's a good one. And I think actually the XP is so strong that it's worth doing, but it's not so crazy that it's game breaking. So Blizzard said they're going to fix the exploit and they're going to take a look at the XP. Almost everyone has been very vocal, myself included. I don't think you nerf the XP. I think you leave it, because then running around and doing all the strongholds once is very valuable. I thought that was the whole point. Ride around on your horse and do the open world. It's way more fun than just resetting a dungeon over and over and over. I think most people would agree on that. And the reason why I told you Penitent doesn't matter is the turn-in actually does not give dynamic XP based upon the level that you completed in. So actually, you could just do it on normal, and you'd get less XP from the monster kills, but your turn-in would be the same XP. I tested it. It was the same. So, you don't even have to switch to Penitent. If you're already murdering Expert, you can just ride around on your horse and do the turn-ins on Expert and be 60. So I don't think any of the casuals can have any problem getting to 60. Some people said it felt a little bit slower. I mean, a little bit slower relative to what? It's not slower than 1 to 100. Starting with nothing. I don't think that at all, especially if you use strongholds. So, I think it felt fine. Everything is fine here. Don't be intimidated by trying expert. Maybe you want to start on hard or normal till you're like, get your class mechanic, and then you switch to expert. I don't think you're going to have any problems. So then came the world tier, or the Torment 1 to Torment 4 grind in the pit. So the way that the game works now, if you're not familiar, is anything can drop in Torment 1. Anything. The best mythic unique with the quad greater affix, you can get every item in Torment 1. Torment 1 is very accessible. I went in at, not just myself, other people went in with complete garbage gear, and you have to clear Pit 20 to unlock T1. Most people just walked right in, cleared Pit 20 instantly. You have T1 unlocked. So this is not challenging. Everybody can do it. Very casual person, you're going to be fine. You will get into T1. And as you build up your character, doing the whole game on T1, everything that we could see, again, I don't know what the new raid is going to be like, the Undercity of Kurast. I don't know what the new stuff is. We'll have to see on the expansion. But from everything that I can see, everybody's going to have no problem playing on T1. You can get all the items in the game. You're good. So then the chase here for all the blasters, or whatever you want to call them, is going from Torment 2 to Torment 4, and then the question would be, can you farm the game on Torment 4? Torment 4 does not give you better items, but it does give you more items. That's the incentive. So if you're farming all day on Torment 4, you should get better items than what you get than someone that's farming on Torment 1. But it also comes down to an efficiency thing. If Torment 4 is 10 times harder for only double the rewards, maybe T1 is still the best farming spot. So this is stuff that I was looking at. So first of all, again, I've checked with several other people. It's not just me. It's not just because I'm a streamer. It's not just because I'm a tryhard. It's not just because I play this game all day. But this grind is definitely easier than Blizzard made it sound that it would be. I just waltzed right through with my 540 gear on my shitty sorcerer, and I cleared all the way to T4. Now, even though everything was a low level and I didn't have the higher aspects, I only had one Paragon glyph. You get 5, I only had 1. I don't have my mercenary. I don't have the rune words. I don't have anything. But I did have 2 mythic uniques on. I had a Shaco, and I also had a Tyrael. So everyone was saying, yo, bro, it doesn't matter if you got that stuff. You're right. So I took them off. And then I redid the T4 Pit 65. Guess what happened? I cleared it on my first try with no deaths. Okay. So then we did something fun. Then we started to have some fun. Now I'm in T4, and I told you my sorcerer sucks. And someone said, try a tormented boss. They're really hard. So who did I pick? Tormented Beast in Ice. And this guy bludgeoned me. Killed me like 4 times. Very tough fight for me with my shitty sorcerer. I finally killed him. Felt like $1 million. That was hard. It was like a long fight. I had to dodge all of his mechanics. He almost one-shot me with pretty much everything. I did like no damage to him. It was actually tough. Then I went to Helltide, and I could do it, but it wasn't free at all. And then I tried Nightmare Dungeons. This was actually probably the easiest thing to do. T4 Torment 4 Nightmare Dungeons were pretty easy. And then I tried Lilith. No way. She killed me instantly. She just went boom and instant one-shot me. Just with a punch. She just punched me to death. I didn't have the gear to even attempt her. So this taught me something. So when you're doing the progression and you have T1, okay, and then you're crawling through the pit. By the way, the pit feels a lot better. And then you finally unlock T4. This is not going to be representative of when you go out into the world of T4 of how difficult it's going to be. The difficulty is higher when you between clearing it versus going out and playing in it. Fighting Tormented 4 Beast in Ice was way harder than clearing Pit 65. And that's, as I started to think about it, that's exactly how it should be, right? You get the key to the castle, you get to go in the castle. That doesn't mean that you're ready to clear the castle, but at least you can try it. But with me being down so many things, me having such a low item level, me being so low on my armor, me not having the extra 5 tiers of the aspects, I didn't have the rune words, I didn't have my mercenary, I didn't have the right masterworking, I didn't have the right tempers. The list goes on forever. When you get all of that, I am 100% sure. Now, I'm not even 90. It's 100% sure you are going, like the blasters of the game are just going to absolutely crush Torment 4. They're just going to crush it. So then I was having this chat there with all the lovely people in the stream. Thank you guys. Thanks for allowing me to be a content creator. Everybody who's watching this video, thank you. I was talking with them all day about what is the feedback here. And a lot of people are saying that you need to make this journey, the end journey, harder. I think the beginning of it is fine. I think expert into penitent, the problem with penitent is you have to be level 50 to play it. Everyone's wondering why. Why won't you let me pick penitent from level 1? If I pick it and I get my ass kicked, who cares? Then I have to lower it. Like, why are we forced to do this? It's whatever. T1 is insanely accessible, as it should be. I don't want to lock anybody out from getting godly items or being able to play the game. But the T2 to T4 seems to me it was specifically touted for a big chase, something to really strive for. Bro, everybody who's really dialed into Diablo 4, who takes that Friday off, that follows the Maxroll build, you're going to be close to T4 on the first day. You're going to be real close. And if not, you're going to be at a minimum speed farming T2 or T3. By the way, after I fought T4 Beast in the Ice, I fought T3 and I killed him instantly. Like, it was like the difference of a 10-second fight versus a 6-minute fight is a huge, huge difference in difficulty. But even so, people are going to be able to completely crush T4. Okay, so a lot of people are asking for this specific part, this part of the game, to be much more of a journey and to make it harder. And that's definitely how I felt initially. And now I'm kind of, after thinking about it and talking about it literally the entire day, I think I'm of the opinion where maybe we just let it go like this, because honestly, all of the endgame content currently in Diablo 4 has been so easy that it's not really going to be much of a change anyway. And maybe we get some real empirical data in Season 6 and see how it goes. I also don't know how hard the raids are going to be, or the Undercity. Maybe those are so difficult in T4 that, maybe everything is fine. I don't know. I don't have the information that Blizzard does. But it definitely doesn't need to be nerfed. You definitely can't nerf it. If anything, you need to buff it. I'm almost certain you need to buff it. But if you don't want to buff it and you want to go into the expansion and just let everybody have fun and blast, it's not going to be any different from how the game already is. Everybody's lightning spear sorcerer that everybody's been working on can just crush the entire game. So, we'll see how it goes. And by the way, if you're wondering, I play all the classes. Yes, every class is going to have probably multiple builds that can crush Torment 4. It's not just the overpowered Lightning Spear Sorcerers. Which, by the way, if you were wondering how did it perform on the PTR, it's still very good. Again, I don't have any of the right stuff, but my stuff is all the legacy 540 garbage stuff that I can't do anything with, but it was still pretty good. So let me go over the rest of this quickly. That's the main thing I wanted to talk to you about. The main thing that we got today was the progression. On Friday, we get the rune words. But let me tell you some other things. So there were a lot of good things here. The UI is better kind of across the board. Your wardrobe comes with you. A lot of people will care about this. I mean, you got to look good no matter where you go. Oh, I don't know why we're creating a character here. But you have a portable wardrobe, so you can change how you look whenever you want. I'll be honest, that's not really that important to me, but it will be important to a lot of people, so that's a big win. Just want to show it to you. Here it is. Wardrobe, oh, you want to change how you look on the fly? There you go. Okay, so let's go back here. They gave us additional tabs. All right, those are right here. It's very nice. Your Nightmare Dungeon keys go here. Your elixirs and your boss mats go here. If you get gems or rune words, it's going to go here. It's very nice. It actually makes a huge difference. You can favorite a town. So I always come here because that's where the pit is. So you open your map and you right-click a waypoint. You see how it says unfavorite. You mouse over it, favorite it, boom. Now when you hit T, you always go to this town. Been asking for this since the alpha of the game. The alpha. Finally got it. The new character screens. I like them. I do have a piece of feedback, though, on them. It's probably too late to change it, but I'm going to give the feedback anyway. So this is the iconic campfire scene. By the way, look how cool those wolves look. Everything is super cool here. There's two pieces of feedback I would like to see different. I would like to actually see the campfire. Can we back the druid up a slight bit, and can I see the campfire? Because it means something to me. I've been playing since I was a kid. Been playing Diablo 2. Another thing that I love about Diablo 2 is you see the other classes sitting kind of next to him. Like, I want to see the sorcerer sitting right here. I want to see the barbarian sitting right here, and for it to kind of switch through it. But no, it kind of just fades to black and goes to each one individually. I wish it like panned around and showed me the other classes. I don't know. I just wanted to say that. I like what you did here, but oops, I really wish that it did that. There's new quest and monster indicators. So yeah, it's very obvious what you have to do in the Nightmare Dungeon now. They made the Nightmare Dungeons a lot better. They're just very straightforward. Just kill shit, do events, and leave. It's nice. But if you have to kill a certain monster that has a key, oh, you're going to notice it on your mini map. They like have it colored like strawberry sorbet color, and it's very obvious. I like it a lot. The leveling experience feels pretty good. I like that we can do nightmare dungeons almost from the beginning. We talked about the strongholds. They're fun to do now. This is probably their original intention for the game. They're going to fix the exploit. I do not think you should nerf the XP. I don't think you should. I think it's going to be a big mistake. Maybe you didn't intend for it to be like this, but this is maybe one of those happy accidents, as Bob Ross would say. The endgame, the pit and the nightmare dungeon material switch work very well. The pit tuning is better. You don't spend 20 minutes fighting the boss. The accelerated glyph leveling is good. There's legendary glyphs now. They level to 100, gives you more stuff to do. I like it, but you don't have to level them to 100. You can stop at 46. There's new dummy options. I could go show them to you, but in the Kmart in Kyovashad, where you go do the training dummy, they have now options for the dummy to attack you if you want to test your defense. That's nice. There's way more character customization options. I know people are going to care about this. So if we pick the druid, okay, we pick the druid, a nice little 10 more refrigerator. Your choices here in making different hairstyles and your beard and the accessories that you want and the markings and the colors, you can pretty much make your character whatever you want it to be. There's a ton of more options. People will like that. There's a party finder now. It works pretty well. It has some weird issues to it. The UI to it is not completely done. You can tell this is one of the newest features that they have in there. But it does work. You can make a party, and it kind of works, and you can join up, and it's good. We need this. The stat squish, man, I mean, you're going to be surprised. If you haven't seen this yet, you literally do like 17 damage, and you have like 20 health, and you have like 1,000 armor instead of 10,000. But I'm always in favor of this. Like they said on the campfire, completely agree with them. When you hit for 10 trillion and you get 10% more damage, you're never going to notice it, right? But this will be a lot more noticeable when you actually get some upgrades, when you actually get some numbers that you can think about. So something that needs improvement. I understand why they did this. It's probably for simplicity, but this isn't my favorite thing. So when you have a character and you're picking your difficulty, it does a great job of explaining kind of how you, like where you should be at to do the difficulty. And it also tells you what your rewards are. So that's great, right? You pick the difficulty, it tells you like where you should be at, like you should have several legendary items, da 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 da. The thing that I don't like here is I don't like how it doesn't explain the penalty. So I get the gold and the XP, and you want me to be about this skilled, but what is the penalty? Like, how much more health do they have? How much more damage do they deal? They explained on the campfire that the monsters get a lot smarter when you go to the higher tormented levels. Like, they actually behave more intelligently. I would love a little sentence here saying, okay, I'm getting these rewards, but how much harder is it really? That was one thing that it wasn't just me. A lot of people voiced this opinion. I thought it was very strange. It told us everything except for the actual penalty. Now, this might seem like a minor thing, but I don't think this is minor at all. I mean, I'm never going to let stuff like this go. So I want to show this to you. So the idea here is you want to level up your glyphs to 45 or 46 now, and they turn legendary, right? And for a lot of casual people, it will not be, I don't think they're going to be swimming in level 46 glyphs. It takes a little bit of effort. People have a job and 3 wives and 4 kids, and they only get to play for 8 minutes every month. So you're not, these like 46 glyphs, I got this destruction is 61 today, they don't grow like candy, right? They don't grow on trees. So what do you think happened when I finally got the upgrade for it to turn from 45 to 46 or whatever, and it turned legendary? It just changed color, and that was it. And I think this is a big mistake. I think like it's little things like this, the attention to detail like this, that make people not remember playing Diablo 4. I was crying forever that getting a mythic unique was not only impossible, but it wasn't an awesome event. What you would do is you would kill Duriel, and then you would pick up 30 pieces of loot, and then you'd mouse over everything, and then maybe you'd be lucky and you'd find that it would be a mythic unique. It's exactly how you don't want to drop one of the best items in the game. They changed it. They made it purple, and what happens when it drops? Boom! And now it's a big purple beam, and it's a great dopamine hit, right? Bro, we have to pay attention to these things. We really do. When I finally get a 46 glyph, I mean, I want there to be like lightning shooting in from the side that explodes. Boom! Legendary destruction glyph. Instead of just click, oh, it's orange. You know, I actually think that that's important. Some people might be listening to that, like rolling their eyes. I think it really matters. This essentially covers what I already talked about in the paint. I think that I think World Tier 4 is going to be too easy, and I think you should probably buff it. But if you want to go and just try it with how it currently is, it's fine. It's whatever. The game has been really easy the whole time. But I think almost everybody is saying it's just too easy to get to World Tier 4. We still need a sell all button. We don't have that, Blizzard. When is that coming? We still don't have the cow level. I mean, this is a low-hanging fruit. People want to kill cows. Why don't we have the cow level? It would be really nice while you said we're getting an armory system, right? Which is going to give us loadouts for our characters. It'd be really nice to get a loadout for the group finder. So I'll tell you what I'm not going to do. I'm not going to one day, I'm going to make a party for Helltide, and now I'm going to make a party for the pit. Oh, now I'm going to make a party for tormented bosses, and I'm going to do this. Now, usually when I want to find a group, it's probably going to be for like one or two of the activities. It's going to be the raids or tormented bosses, probably, right? So it would be very nice if you built a system where we have loadouts for the group finder, where we say, all right, I want Rax's saved group finder thing, boom. He wants to have these tags for this event at this torment level, bam, and start it up. That would be the evolution of the party finder. And then one thing about tempering. Okay, so here's the thing about tempering. So they're making it better, right? They're making tempering better. This is like a very, very sore subject for everybody. Okay, you go here. And if you look, a lot of the tempers only have 3 choices now. It's a maximum of 4. So 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3. Okay. You get the idea? So that helps. And most of you're going to have way more greater affixes now because the ancestral items are harder to find, but they always are guaranteed to have a greater affix, which means in general, for the people who find it, when you're double tempering, you will have at least one additional roll, because I think most people don't have greater affixes. So that's a little bit better. And then in the expansion, you get a glyph or a scroll of retempering to let you try it again. So overall, that has improved. But there is something that got worse that I think should be addressed. So when I'm tempering this staff, look how many recipes there are now. Now I understand there might be less because there's like 2 of them here, and maybe they're going to get rid of the lower one once they shut down the PTR. But it would be very nice if I put a staff in here and I clicked here. Since I'm using whatever recipe this is, it should highlight this recipe or say currently tempered or anything. Show me the one that I'm doing, because very rarely does someone switch tempers in the middle of their roll. The only time someone switches tempers is if they only have 1 temper left and they've given up and they're trying to put on like some other recipe where any of the other ones are just mediocre. But, or on top of that, it would be nice if these were alphabetical. These just seem to be in such a random order. And with me scrolling, okay, I need to get Lightning Spear cast again. Okay, where the hell is that? I know where it is. I know that it's here, but imagine how long it takes for people to find that if you don't play the game all day. So I think some updates to the UI especially showing you what you've already tempered, or bring it to the top, or highlight it, or I mean anything, alphabetize it, all of the above, any of it. I think we really need that. And that's pretty much it. I'm sure there's more topics that I can discuss, but that's essentially my feedback here. Overall, I think a lot of this is actually going to work. I think for the average player, I think this is going to be a better experience, and I think it's going to be less confusing. If you're already used to it and then you're switching to it, well, then it might actually confuse you more for a little bit. But I think for new players, it's way easier to explain, so that's nice. Tomorrow, or I guess today, when this video comes out, I'm going to level 1 to World Tier 4 with nothing and see how it goes, if you would like to watch that. Then on Friday, they're going to give us the rune words, and then I'm going to put them in and try the cool combinations. I already know what's going to happen. We're going to be way more powerful, and we're going to obliterate World Tier 4. That's what's going to happen. But overall, I think this is pretty good. On top of all the other things that we're getting, the raids, the Undercity, the Spiritborn, when they polish up the Party Finder, I think Diablo is trending positively, and that's really all you can ask for at the end of the day. Thank you.